Good afternoon and welcome to Drive Facebook Live. I'm Tony Whistler and this is my co-host Bill Ascolillo. Hey Bill,
Hello.
today on the show we have two great guests. They're both Drive employees, Larry Monroe and Martha Seidler. Hey guys.
Hi there.
Hey,
Welcome, guys.
So Martha, tell the people out in Drive Facebook Live land what it is you do here at Drive and a little bit about your history and a little bit
Okay.
about you because we want to know about you, Martha.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Well, do you know I actually started as a kindergarten through third grade teacher, and that was years ago. I'm not that young anymore, but with that educational background, I then kind of enjoyed working at Drive in earlier years. I started around 2003. Larry, help me. I think it was 2003. And then there was this whole, I was a coach. And then the recession hit and, I was laid off because I was quite young actually back then.
she was about 17 or something like that.
Really? Very good.
Yeah.
Very impressive career up to 17.
No,
Very
I was
impressive.
a teacher before. I was a teacher before.
Right.
So anyhow, but I loved working at Drive. I seriously, I really liked the clients. I liked the workshops and the clients coming out on the weekends. It was a lot of fun. So what I did is I heard from my nephew, Brian Dorado, that they were hiring in 2017. And so I thought, he really recruited me actually. Brian Dorado can sell anything to anyone. But I really
That is true.
it rekindled my wanting to come back, and I've been back since. So it's been about 9 years now. And and there was a point when I didn't come back as a coach though. Bill Kay wanted me to be establishing the client satisfaction section, which didn't quite exist as it was earlier. So anyhow, that was a lot of fun. And I really enjoy calling the clients to make sure they're off to a good start when they start the program. I have an assistant, Meryl. She helps me in checking in on the satisfaction of the shop business analyses. And I talk to the territorial sales managers and just a lot of different calls going out. I like to talk on the phone. So there you go. I call all day to clients.
Very nice. And so you're in the client satisfaction area.
Yeah.
Very good. And
Definitely imagine it'd be a little bit difficult to do your job if you didn't like being on the phone, huh?
Oh gosh. Oh my God. That would be crazy.
And then of course you started out as a teacher, which a lot of us did. A lot of us at Drive started out working in the public school system or private school system.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Martha. Now we're going to go to, because it's always beauty before age where I come from. So now we're going to go to Larry, Larry Monroe. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us how long you've been with us and tell us what you're doing these days.
Well, as they say, mine is a long and interesting tale. I started in March of 1994. I was the first coach they hired, and things were interesting back then. And I've kind of grown. I was coach, and then I managed coaches. I trained coaches, delivered a lot of workshops, live workshops back in the day, and but also workshops at a lot of our expos over the years. And I tried to count how many I've been to, and I don't know, it was something like 25 or 30 or something like that. And I was for a couple of years, I was the quality assurance manager before Martha stepped into that area. And I've done a lot. I love helping clients in every way, shape, and form. I was kind of surrounded by teachers when I was growing up. My mom was a teacher. My two sisters were teachers. So they figured I was going to be a teacher, and here I am. And I do the actual coaching workshops, usually about 3 a day. And I'm also doing some training of some new coaches. And I just like helping clients take their businesses to the next level so they can have a life and help them help their customers, so I'm kind of hooked on help.
And when did you start again? What year was that?
Uh, March 22nd, 1994.
There you go.
Wow.
31,
Very
31,
impressive. Very nice.
31
Yes.
years.
That's why
Thank you for
Larry
your
can
time.
remember. That's why Larry can remember when Martha's began because he was
Well,
here
he
already.
trained me originally. He was one of my trainers. He
Well,
and Carla.
he hired me too.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I-
I trained her. I trained Nancy. I trained Carla,
Yeah.
back in the day
yeah.
when I still had hair.
But
Yeah.
now there is one thing that you guys do that are like you guys mentioned a lot of stuff that you do here at Drive and your basic responsibilities day to day. But there's another special thing you guys do together and have been doing for years. And I
Yeah.
want to let everybody know what this is. This is you guys are the ones who really kind of run and control what we call our certification line. Which one of you would like to describe what that actually is and explain a little bit about what its purpose is and how important it is to the flourishing of our clients?
Well, I think
Larry,
Martha would
you
be the
want to
best
give the
one.
overview? You want to
Well,
do the
yeah,
overview and I'll take the entry level?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Martha is, she's the gatekeeper on quality, and she's so good at it, and she oversees the beginning certification line, and then I do the more advanced. And Martha, why don't you just describe the first levels of certification, and then I'll go from there.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the first entry level certification is effective shop manager, and it's for owners or managers. So sometimes we have an owner and a manager doing the checklist simultaneously. They're both doing it, but they're doing it together. But a lot of shops doing that entry level don't have managers either. So sometimes what they'll do is the owner and his wife, if the wife is there, that's so helpful. We love spouses that work together. They divide and conquer. They do the workshops. It's really a wonderful journey. They can do essentials of shop management together, ideally. They can take notes. They can look at strengths and weaknesses in their shop, what they need to handle, what's doing okay, for now. And the entry-level checklist, Effective Shop Manager, gives them 16 steps that, as a shop owner, would be their primary tools, like establishing the owner's break even and calculating it correctly, starting to keep track of their KPIs and actually learning how to analyze them with their coach and with workshops. There are a lot of small action workshops, action coaching workshops that can assist them without taking a lot of time out of their busy, crazy day. But you've got to get started somewhere, building a team, learning how to write an effective hiring ad, learning how to interview, all these things. It depends on the shop, right? Some shops have things under control that other shops don't. But by the end of the checklist, you're going to have established the very most fundamentals that any shop needs to build on. That's effective shop manager. Then what you do is then you kind of start moving up. You start leveling up your shop to a whole new level where you're doing the professional shop owner checklist, and that's for shop owners. By then you've hired some people. You're trying to get them onto their jobs and their duties, and you're working more with the team, getting the workflow in place so that the team is efficient. And that step just is a checklist of 16 points too that you're doing, but you're doing it with more training because now you have the time to do more training. And that's a real important factor, is getting in the time to do the key training. We're not talking about being gone all day and all night, but at least a workshop, maybe every quarter, every 2 to 3 months, you've got to carve out. And that then takes your shop to a whole new level where you actually have the time to do that. And then you can, from that platform, you can go into the master's levels. And that's where you really start to get, everybody in place. You have less stress. You have the time that you've always hoped for. You're making the money, and the master's is really going to make you stably making the money you deserve, and why you even took a shop in the first place.
Yeah, the whole point. Yeah, that
Yeah,
makes sense. Hey,
yeah.
Larry, Rojas Auto Solutions posted in the
Ah,
Teams, and they said, "We are so thankful for Larry." So that's another one. And also Dennis Goodhue posted, uh, "Great and super helpful people," is how he describes
ah,
the team.
nice,
So
Dennis.
we love Dennis. And
Yep.
now we're going to throw it over to you, Larry, because you can talk about the other certification levels that are above professional. Over to you.
All right. Well, the first one above that is masters, and it's definitely stepping up in terms of skills. And there's a whole checklist that walks people through it, and they have to show evidence that they are making achievements. Overall, someone at master needs to be stable stage 3, which means they've got technicians in place, they've got service advisor, estimators in place, and they actually can wear the manager hat. They also need to be making at least 15% on the bottom line, and really, really stable as leaders. And it's quite an achievement. We had some wonderful masters up on the stage at the expo, and we have updated the checklist as of now, going forward to the next expo, and kind of went back to some successful actions which show that they have mandatory master workshops that they need to do. There's a few in professional, and with master, it starts with essentials of shop management, the service advisor master workshop, the controlling the front master workshop, dream team, the basic managing shop finances master workshop. They have to be completed on the essentials, the executive planning apprenticeship, which is a really, really powerful service that ensures they are managing their finances well and know how to write effective weekly plans. And they have to have an on-site inspection within the last 3 years. So that's a lot. And
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
you know, we
Yeah.
we really verify that they're there, but it's quite an achievement to get to masters. And then it goes up from there. The next one.
One sec, Larry. I don't want to interrupt you, but I did want to just make an announcement because talking about masters, Carolyn has posted some of the master speeches, links to them in the actual chat for this show. So if you want to hear
Oh,
about like what being a
great.
master actually does and how it changes a client's life, there's some links there for you to go to. Sorry to interrupt, Larry, but I just wanted to let
No, but
everyone know they could go check it out.
yeah, that's
That's
exciting.
great.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
So then after you do master, which is it's an amazing accomplishment. The next thing, which most people are ready to go for, is master elite. Now, master elite is really an amazing achievement, even more so than master. You have to be stage 4, stable stage 4, which means you have a management team in place that runs the shop. You're no longer having to be the manager. You have a team that is managing the day to day. So you and your partner or your significant other can be the owners, setting the goals, writing the policies, and guiding the direction of the shop. Now, in order to achieve that, you also have to make at least 20% on the bottom line. And here's the kicker. In the previous and master, you have to have an inspection done, and done by our amazing inspectors, Jim Saley or Mark Bagg. and they write a pretty stiff report on the things that need to be upgraded or improved. And with Master Elite, they have to get every one of those items sorted out and handled with evidence sent up the line. So,
Nice.
they are
A
in
lot.
good shape. It's quite an accomplishment.
And this
Quite
is
an
all at the time while they are, sorry to interrupt, this is all while they're still running a business and still working a business.
Right.
Like a lot of people, that's a lot to do, kind of like what you're saying, Larry.
Yeah, it is. And it is, most of you out there, shop owners, you started as a technician, maybe a service advisor, and you woke up one day and says, "Oh my gosh, I've got employees, I've got customers," and they don't necessarily have much training to be business owners. And that's what these checklists, the ones that Martha's talking about and the ones that I'm talking about, they walk the shop owner up to the point of higher and higher levels of skills. And it's exactly what it sounds like. You're not just a master tech, you're a master shop owner, and then you're a master elite shop owner. And those two are major. And then the final one that we have is sustained master elite. And this is after they've been at master elite for a while, and they can actually show that they've got the level of stability that they can maintain those numbers. Doesn't matter if there's some changes, because there's always changes in the industry. They've got the skills to rebound and bounce back and maintain stability. And that's even that much more of a challenge, but we have several shop owners that have achieved that. And in this last expo, we had Travis Saley from Lawrence that achieved it. And it's just
Beautiful.
It's an amazing accomplishment. And it's just something that it's really a team effort. I mean, Martha and I, we're just kind of looking at the checklist and stuff, but the heavy lifting is done by the coaches and by the clients and by the people that are delivering the workshops to them, and the action coaching workshops. These all build up to this person, this shop owner and his partners using these tools to create a whole new playing field for their business. We just give them the tools and the guidance and a couple of kicks now and again.
Maybe some pep talks.
Yeah, and cheerleading as well.
Come on,
But
you can
gotta
do
do
it.
that.
Some sweat and some tears.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. It's the balancing act, and that's kind of why we're all here so much. Is we love this business, this industry, and with the master and the certification program, it helps them actually get to the point where they're showing their chops, how bright they are, how sharp they are, the amount of confront they have, and they're creating a whole different business environment for their crew and for their customers.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just another little announcement. Debbie and Dave Jennerjohn's speech when they got their Master Elite a couple of years ago is also posted there. So if you want to see them talk about achieving that level, you can watch it if you just go to the chat in this show right now. So well, don't go watch it now. Finish watching the show. You can watch it later. But Bill, I wanted to ask you, did you have anything that you wanted to ask these guys with regard to this? Because obviously you're one of our best coaches.
Thank you.
Any stories about any of your clients and their journey along this line?
Yeah, I'll tell you the truth. I've been down this road a couple times already with some of my clients, and I will tell you, Martha is the biggest help to help you get that accomplished, because, like you guys were just saying a second ago, it's a team. It's not just me. It's not just me and an owner. It's not just me, the owner, and the employees. It's drive in that company or that shop, if you will. And it takes a lot of coordination. It takes a lot of things to be done. And it takes a lot to keep that ship moving straight for the goal. And it's interesting too, because you start to talk to an owner about it of a shop. Hey, we could get you to this level, we get you to that level. And they're like, okay. But then you start doing it and they start understanding everything that they've accomplished already. And they start checking the boxes. And you can see them getting more and more elated the farther down you go on that list. And then once it's done, and I say, okay, I just need Martha to verify everything and you're
Yeah.
good to go, then they really light up. You can see a change in them. So it's pretty exciting. I'll be honest with you, it's pretty exciting on both sides. You know, the owner side of, and at least my side, the coach side also. It's pretty exciting. I'll be honest with you.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And one of the
Yeah.
things I think Larry and I think Martha would agree, isn't it gratifying to check things off on a checklist? I just
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
Yeah.
Well, actually, can I add something, Tony?
Sure. Yeah.
This is a really interesting thing because I've been doing this since 2017. And what I've noticed is there are some shop owners who you know, it's fun to see them on stage and get their trophies and take their pictures, and it's super fun. And oh my God, the speeches of the masters are just amazing. But regardless of all that, I've had shop owners who they didn't want the trophy. That wasn't the, not that that is the whole main reason, but they didn't even want that. But you know, what's interesting is I had one shop owner who never got a trophy. He didn't want one. He just wanted to do the checklist. And he said, I'm going to print this checklist out and I'm going to put this next to my computer on the wall. And I'm going to do this checklist. I'm going to look this over every single quarter. And I'm going to make sure every step on that checklist is done. Now, you know, the interesting thing is circle forward. I happened to speak with this shop owner. He was no longer on the program. His shop is still doing well to this day. He has that checklist on his wall. Go
I love that
figure.
story.
Good for him.
He just,
Yeah.
Awesome.
it's a foundation that you can't go wrong with. It's just a foundation. And I think the value of doing the checklist and staying on the program and brushing up your skills and reviewing some of the materials you might have done when you first started the program years ago, you know, when you were slugging it out under the cars all the time. Now you're the shop owner, you've got all these people under you. You look at a workshop from a completely different level.
Right.
You also look at the foundational checklist from a different level, but they're still very valuable, and they are, even the entry level checklist and walking that path up, they make it like second nature.
Right.
It's like an A-Tech. You don't have to, you probably any A-Tech would tell you, you know, a new guy looks at an A-Tech and is like, how does he know to look at all those things? How did he know to check that? How did he know that that must be not happening? Well, it's because he had this steady, no, he just knew all those aspects so well that he didn't have to think about it anymore. He just did it.
Right.
Yeah,
They
very
have the
good.
tools. They have the tools, but they don't have to think about the tools. It's almost like
Yeah,
an extension
it's
of their,
second nature.
and it's the
Becomes
same.
their standard at that point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And I do want to say
Yep.
something about the you know, the event of the awards dinner where these guys get their awards, and then the next morning we have the networking with all of
Yeah.
the people that have achieved master and above. It shows that it can be done by anybody.
Yeah.
It
That's
does
right.
not matter where you come from. You don't necessarily have to have any kind of degrees of any kind. We provide the tools, you provide the intelligence and the grit to get it done. And we've been doing it forever. And I just love the stories that they tell us about where they came from, what they overcame, you know, and it's some physical challenges, financial challenges. I mean, you know, and it gets kind of entertaining. We brought up John Starkey, who's one of our masters from a couple of years ago, and he hit some hard times and he bounced back.
Yeah.
He bounced back because of what he learned on the way to masters. I mean, he literally had a fire that destroyed his shop. And he talked about his numbers right now are better in the present than they were even before he hit masters. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's because of what you're saying, Martha, is they've got that stability. They've
That's
got the
right.
foundation. They've got the toolbox, and they're thinking with it. No matter what the physical universe or the financial universe or Mother Nature can throw you, these guys they're rock stars. And
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
because of the toolbox
Yeah.
we give them.
And Larry, John's speech is actually posted as well. So if you want to go, he's a great public speaker, and if you want to go check out his speech, it's linked as well. And I have to say that we need to get a commercial break in. We usually do it a little earlier, but we're having such a great conversation that
Yeah.
we have to get a commercial break in. Bill, you want to give us a little commercial break?
Absolutely. Thank you. You know, speaking of Master Elite, next week is going to be Dennis Goodhue. He just became Master Elite this time around, 2025 in the Expo. He just became part of this prestigious club. It's going to be great to hear from him. It's going to be great to hear his journey, how he started out, what he started out at, and now where he is at today. Because again, like Martha and Larry were talking about, this is not a fast road. This doesn't happen overnight. And the thing is, to keep doing it over and over and make that your standard and get repeatable results that grow and grow and grow is really the important thing about it. And it's going to be exciting to hear from him. You know, he's the newbie on the block now. So it'll be great to see what he thinks about being part of this club. So he's going to be with us next Friday, same time. It'll be great to hear from him.
Very cool.
Cool.
Just want to say one
Absolutely.
other thing in the middle of that
It'll be
spot.
with his coach Carla. Sorry.
Right. Okay, that's good. And John is actually watching, and he chatted. It's super fun for us too to achieve greatness. That was his response to
Yeah.
your response, Larry.
Yeah,
Okay.
in between his bouts on the waves surfing, he's that going back to kind of what we're trying to achieve is give shop owners a life, and
Yeah.
with their families. John had his wife and child at the expo, and one of his great things is he's got the shop set up so every lunchtime he's out surfing in Hawaii.
Wow.
So and that's kind of that's part and parcel of what we're trying to do here is these, you folks work your tails off, but you deserve a life and a future. And I've seen that happen over and over again with our clients as they climb up the line of certifications and training and experience and skill. You're amazing. And the biggest return I get is when I give help is you actually use it and change
Yeah.
your life. You change the
Yeah.
environment of your business and your lives.
Awesome.
And the employees' lives are changed
That's right.
amazingly too.
That's
It's
right.
Yes.
amazing what an impact it makes for the employees and their families.
And
Yeah.
their customers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their
Correct.
customers
right.
too. And
In
the
the business,
community.
in the business actually becomes a well-functioning team. It's not a bunch of employees anymore. It's a well-functioning team. And that's when you really know you've leveled up.
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
And I
Yeah.
just want to mention one other thing. We're getting so close to the end, guys. This half hour went faster than I've seen a half hour go in a very long time.
Yeah.
But I do want to mention one other thing. We are going to be delivering Essentials of Shop Management, which was mentioned. It's one of
Oh,
our
yeah.
master workshops. We're going to be delivering that this month on a unique schedule. We always like to deliver once a quarter. We like to deliver Essentials on the weekend and not where you have to carve out the time during your business, because some of you guys are just starting on the program, or you're kind of a one-man band, or you're having to do everything, and it's just hard to get that time to do the workshop. In this case, you can do Essentials of Shop Management on October 17th, 18th, and 19th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that'll be all day Friday, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday, and that'll get it in 3 days. So so if you haven't done it and you're on the program and you have it, if you're on the program, you can take this workshop. Doesn't matter which program you're on. So you can do this workshop, sign up for it.
And it is a mandatory workshop for all
All the
It's a
certificates.
all the
vital workshop.
certificates.
It's
It's
mandatory,
vital,
but well worth it.
but
Everybody
vital.
that comes
Yeah.
out of that workshop says, I wish I took it earlier.
That's
Yeah.
They
right.
all
and
have the same response.
yeah. And actually, when you say it's all day, it's not all day. So you can still get your team going on Friday, depending on what time zone you're in. And then you can duck into it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 8 to 3:30 Pacific time, and we do have long breaks. So
Yeah.
you're going to do a little bit and you're going to take a half hour, a little bit and take an hour for lunch, and then a little bit, take another half hour, and then you finish it up around 3:30 Pacific. So you've got time to get some things done, especially if you're in your
yeah,
shop
Yeah.
on a Friday.
yeah, on a
And
Friday.
on a Friday. But yeah, anyway, man, we are right up against it, folks. You guys, does anybody else have any final thing that they want to say before we call it a day?
I have one thing, and it just kind of goes back to something you said, Tony. Uh, as you grow and you learn, it's kind of fun to see shop owners retake the workshops, and in particular ESM. It's one of
Hmm.
those ones that they can actually go and attend again and again. And I remember talking to someone who came up to me and says, "Did you guys revise this workshop?" And I said, "No. The only thing that's been revised is
Is
your
you.
viewpoint,
It's
your
you.
viewpoint, and
Yeah.
your control and your understanding of your business." So it's just another one of those great adventures where you grow in your skill set, and these workshops help you do it as well.
Yeah, I've had clients who they did the workshop in the beginning because things were on fire because they came on the program very early and their focus was on one big problem and they found the solution to that problem in the workshop. But ask them about anything else in the workshop and they won't remember any of it.
No.
Exactly.
They
Until they
won't re-
take it, till they take it several years later, it says,
and then
"Wow,
they go,
this is
wow,
really
and
a
I
good workshop."
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
And they're like,
Yes.
I have a new problem, but it's not nearly as severe. And hey, there's the data that I need. Like that's awesome. Okay. Anything else before I say goodnight,
One
Gracie?
little thing,
Yeah.
for the entry level shop owners who are watching this, um, sometimes the entry level shop owner will think, well, once I get all this stuff done, then I'll do it. Or once I get all this stuff handled, then I'll do ESM. And the bottom line is yeah, there are some things that a shorter action workshop can kind of put that fire out for you. But interestingly enough, sometimes that demand to just I had one shop owner one time just close his office door and tell the techs, you have to figure it out. You have to figure it out for I'm going to do an action coaching workshop while I eat my sandwich for 45 minutes. You have to figure it out. You
Yep.
have to let me have my sandwich and close the door and do a action coaching workshop about whatever it was. He had a couple fires, right?
Feed your mind
Um,
and your body.
it's that
That's
demand
right.
to be, it's that control, that attempt to control, even if only for 45 minutes, you have to get started and it's worth starting. It's really worth
Yeah.
starting.
Awesome.
Sometimes waiting for the perfect time, you'll never have it until
Never
you
happens.
make it
Not in a
happen.
shop.
No,
Right.
you
You
have to
have to
wait.
make it happen.
That's right.
Exactly.
Okay, people, we're done. We have
Okay.
finished this week's show. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Guys,
Thank you,
thank you
Bill.
so
My
much for
pleasure.
coming
Yeah.
by. So
Yeah.
educational, so enlightening.
Yep. Okay, so that's it, guys. Till next
Thank
week.
you.